This podcast contains adult content suitable for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
I ain't like that anymore. I don't kick off like before. I'm more relaxed. I'm all formed. I hate
Welcome, traveler, to the Morbid Forest. Hello there, traveler. Oh, don't stop on my account. The forest is the perfect place to gather your thoughts. So please, resume your writing. I think I might join you in a little Dear Diary Session 2. Hey, diary. Well, I guess you aren't really a diary anymore, now that I'm using a recording app on my phone. But you get the point. I am fucking bored. The itch for a new session is something fierce, but sadly, I am running out of subjects. So, I've decided to head out and grab some pizza and a soda. Now, I know what you're thinking. Most girls my age go to the bar when they're bored for an adult beverage. That isn't my scene. I don't drink liquor or do drugs. I'd rather keep my mind and reflexes sharp for my research. When I arrived at the mom and pop shop next to the Pizza Hut, I headed straight for the candy aisle. I may not drink, but sweets are my guilty pleasure. Well, that and murder. I grabbed a bag of peanut M&Ms, then ran into the drink aisle for some Pepsi. I checked out and made my way next door to pick up my order. It was a really nice night. Maybe I'd take a walk after dinner. I was considering what path my nightly stroll might take when I heard it.
I'll take an extra large pineapple pizza with extra sauce and extra cheese.
The words grated up my spine. Pineapple? What type of monster orders pineapple on a fucking pizza? I glared daggers at the fat fuck in front of me. He was as round as Violet Beauregard, with wispy hair ringed around a bald spot that I'm sure told you his age. He wheezed as he handed over his money, my blood boiling high with each of his disgusting inhales. Okay. Deep breath in, Summer. In, and out. Good. No need to get overtly upset and expose myself in any way. I closed my eyes and counted to 10. Once I was finished, the fat man was exiting the store, and I stepped up to the counter to collect my food. See? Everything was A-okay over here. The door chime followed my footsteps as I crossed into the parking lot. The fat man was standing next to his car, his grease-riddled fingers gliding clumsily over his oil-spotted pants. I had to pass by him in order to get back to my dorm, and when I was within earshot, he called out to me.
Hey, sorry to bother you, but it seems I locked my keys in my car.
I began to pull my cell phone out of my pocket, AAA's number hovering under my finger. Need me to call AAA? He waved my question off.
No need. I left my window cracked. Do you think you could reach in and pull the lock? It'll take 2 seconds.
I smiled my sickly sweet, innocent smile in his direction and nodded. Moving forward, I set my pizza on the roof of his busted Corolla, my arm extending to the sliver of an opening. The fat man struck, faster than I gave his gelatinous ass credit for. He rammed my forehead into the car frame before tearing open the back door and shoving me face first into the scratchy old fabric, a cloud of mephitic vapor floating up my nose. Fucking bastard! I lay there, taking in his next move. The sound of a belt jingling told me that it was my turn. He wasn't the only one lying about their nature. I turned, pulling my little keychain of mace from my back pocket and depositing the contents into his eyes. It wasn't filled with mace, though, although blinding him would have been fun. The little can was filled to the brim with splendid nitrous oxide. He cried out, but the inhale from his putrid maw caused him. He dropped like a stone. I wiggled out of the backseat, taking stock of the parking lot before gathering up his legs and dragging him into the back seat. Digging for his keys was the worst experience of my life. One he'd surely be paying for. I drove us to my special spot, the one I used when I didn't want to take my subjects home to my basement. The old army fort was perfect, small and miles from anyone seeing or hearing me work. I waited for him to wake up to deliver my "don't scream because no one will hear you" spiel. It's a tad movie villain pedestrian, but a classic move nonetheless. His eyes slowly fluttered, and I leaned in close, nose to nose. "Well, Pineapple, looks like you picked the wrong chick, yeah?" Pineapple's shit-stained eyes snapped open at my question. He proceeded to blubber and shout, and I rolled my shoulders. I was going to enjoy this. Oh, diary, when I tell you his eyes filled with the most delectable horror, it nearly knocked me off my feet. My oak charger truss thunked on the table next to Pineapple. I began to hum as I unlocked the chest with the key that sat warmly between my breasts. The instruments within glowed, each one a glittering gemstone more priceless than its brother. I set to work lining my babies up in a row for my putrid guest. First, the baby scalpel, then the twin clamps, a set of knives joined next, along with a roll of duct tape, and my newest addition, my blowtorch. We're gonna have some fun. Fear dripped into the fat man's eyes, and I squealed in delight. I'm surprised the fat fuck hadn't soiled himself yet. Oh, wait. Never mind. Seriously, Pineapple? Do you not have any pride? I haven't even done anything yet. Pineapple began to cry, and I rolled my eyes. The man was repulsive. I needed some air. I turned and went outside to his car to grab my pizza, soda, and candy. No sense working on an empty stomach. I set my pizza next to my tools and bit into a slice. God damn! If pizza isn't a food straight from heaven, then I don't know what is. My eyes drifted to Pineapple. I wasn't a complete monster. Want a bite? The fat man thought about it before shaking his head yes limply. He was probably thinking this was his moment to escape, but those not side-tied had zero give. And I wasn't an idiot, diary. I wasn't about to untie him if that's what he thought. I fed him a slice and a few sips of soda, false relief uncoiling the knots in Pineapple's bulky frame with each bite. After he swallowed the last bite offered, the man finally grew some balls and broke the silence.
Look, I'm sorry I attacked you, okay? You showed me my mistake, and I'll never ever do anything like this again. Whatever you were gonna do to me, we could just forget it, okay? I swear, never again.
I made a show of pondering his words, but between you and me, diary, we both already know my decision. Doesn't really matter what you were or weren't going to do to me. I was going to kill you long before you had the chance. His head reeled back as if I'd slapped him.
What? Why?
The ropes around his wrist began to vibrate, sending my stomach fluttering. This was my favorite part. What's your favorite song, Pineapple?
Excuse me?
Favorite song. I said it a bit slower, because clearly he was having a hard time comprehending.
That's Life by Frank Sinatra.
I pursed my lips as I opened Spotify and began searching for the song. You know, Mr. Blonde had it right. Dancing while killing makes it all the more better. Really brings the whole experience to a new artistic level I didn't know I could reach. Frank's sultry voice filtered through the warehouse as I pranced to my plastic tarp. Pineapple began to cry again, disgusting sobs racking his body as he pleaded over and over again. I tutted. Look here, Pineapple. Normally, I like to take my time during my sessions, really make it an experience for both of us. But not only are you a repugnant excuse for a human, you had to go and try to kidnap me.
Why, please, I said I was sorry.
Why? Why? As if kidnapping wasn't enough? Honestly, Pineapple, I was bored. And you, unfortunately, I clapped my hands together and smiled. So, left or right?
What?
Pineapple. This isn't going to work unless I have your full attention and cooperation. Now, left or right?
Left.
I nodded and snatched the scalpel from the table and began removing his left ear. Might as well start small. Once I was finished, I gave him a little dose of lidocaine and wrapped the wound with gauze. I let him scream and wail. Pathetic, really. But what else did I expect? New York began filtering through the speakers, and I sang along with Frank as I tugged Pineapple's revolting boot and sock off. Soiled cheese wafted towards me, and I danced away from it before it hit me with full force. I have just the thing for that. I snatched the blowtorch from the table. A resplendent sapphire fire bursted from the tip of the torch, and I kissed Pineapple's toe with the mouth of the flame. The chorus and orchestra crescendoed in perfect unison with Fat Man's screams. It was beautiful, diary. Muscles and blood boiled away onto the floor, a charred soup pile of sinew puddling between my feet. Once the bones appeared and began turning to a nice porous black, I clicked the blowtorch off and rose, taking in my work. Lovely. Just lovely. I rose and drew a dose of morphine for my fat man because we weren't quite done yet.
Please, I wasn't gonna rape you, I swear.
My hand froze, only half the morphine plunging into his veins. Am I too ugly for you?
What? No, I mean, I just...
My giggles bounced around the warehouse, shrinking the man before me as I administered the remaining of his drugs. I don't care what you think I am. As you can see, Pineapple, I'm not like most girls. I know I'm attractive, but honestly, I don't care much about that. I placed the syringe in my biohazard sharps container because safety first, right, diary? My fingers skimmed the hammers with all the adoration in the universe. What I care about is...
Paging Dr. Demander. Dr. Demander, report to room 602, code gray. I repeat, we have a code gray.
What the fuck? A small spike of pain to my neck had me stumbling. The warehouse and the fat man swirling before me. The room spun around the drain, disappearing from sight, only to bring white walls and panicked yelling back from the depths. Someone was holding my arms behind my back, and I thrashed and kicked at them. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Let go of me!
What happened?
A male voice asked from behind.
I don't know, Doctor. She started screaming about a session and pineapple pizza.
I screamed, but the occupants in the room ignored my cries.
Okay. Administer 2 mils of morphine, and let's get the straps back on her jacket in place. She must have loosened them during her episode. Do you know what triggered it?
I began to sob as the darkness crept into the edges of my vision. Please. Please. I just want to finish my session. Please. The pineapple.
Shh. It's okay. It's okay. We'll have a session later today when you're feeling better, and we'll go over everything you've been keeping in your diary.
This has been a Morbid Forest production. On this week's episode, you've heard Dear Diary 2, written by Shawn Moreau, with narration by Naomi Richards, Shawn Moreau, Matthew Trevino, and Jen Oven. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter to stay up to date with all things Morbid Forest. Want to chat all things Morbid Forest? Then join us on Discord. I've left a link for our link tree in the show notes, so come in and chat with Shawn and I. We're usually in there hanging out anyway. Don't forget to rate and review on your favorite platform and help us reach more travelers out there just like you. Want to leave us a little love letter? Then send it to themorbidforest@gmail.com. And with this, travelers, we only have one more episode until our season finale. We can't wait for you to hear what we have for you. And we'll see you next time on The Morbid Forest.